So just by applying the simple wisdom that we're going to talk about in these 4 ways to tell if you're in the vortex, is going to completely transform and amplify your manifestation powers, because it's not just about feeling all the high vibe emotions, which is super easy when you can get there. But what are the behaviors, the thoughts, the actions, the beliefs that we can actually instill, whether we're in a high vibe emotion or not, that keeps us moving towards that vortex version of ourselves? I definitely practiced what I preach, because just by applying these 4 simple points that we're going to go over, I completely flipped my life upside down for the better. I manifested moving across country to the ocean, my soul partner, quitting my corporate job of over 10 years, and healing my body. And that is just the tip of the iceberg. So if you guys are ready to transform your life, up-level your life, get that energy moving, and finally be the person that you know you are, get ready. 4 ways to tell if you are in the vortex. So the vortex is Abraham's term for alignment to the source of everything, your power, which is you. And the vortex itself is the sum of the potential of all of your greatness, all the love, all the money, everything that you could have ever dreamed of and more is in your vortex. And why it's important to become in alignment with your vortex version of yourself is because when you're in that vibrational state that aligns or matches, like attracts like, law of attraction, you are naturally going to receive everything that's in your vortex because you are in vibrational alignment with it. So number 1, I am a creator being. So I create my own reality. And you're probably thinking, isn't that law of attraction 101? Yeah, it is. But if you understand and have heard all of this and aren't applying it in your life, those subconscious thoughts of being stuck in victimhood can be sneaky and holding you back from being in the vortex. So being the creator of your life, what does that mean? For me, that's being the sovereign being of my life. And sovereignty means the supreme or ultimate power. So how would that feel if you were a sovereign ruler or God or creator of your life? How would you look at things in your life change? Would you want to change relationships, locations, or just maybe how you think about yourself? And for me, being that creator, sovereign being means learning to love and accept all myself, even the ego parts, even the shadowy parts, even the prickly parts, because those all were created by me, for me. And the things that are coming up that aren't in alignment with myself, that I don't necessarily want to keep, it's my responsibility to tune in to the root of it, to feel it, to heal it, to clear it. And the other side is who I really am. And this also means if you're a creator of your own reality, the last thing that some people don't love to hear, and I definitely don't love to hear when I'm talking with my partner sometimes, this also means that the other people, situations, world, whatever, is a reflection of you. Yes, when you're in a relationship, your partner creates their own reality and you guys are co-creating your reality together. But if something comes up and you feel really, really triggered by something your partner said or did or didn't do, a beautiful opportunity for you to tune in and ask, am I creating my own reality right now? Am I being the sovereign being? And if I am, what's coming up? And to be able to really tune in and honor yourself in that moment before you start blaming and pointing the finger at the other person. Which leads us to number 2, trusting the process. My inner being is always guiding me, and life keeps getting better and better and better. And you don't need to know every single step. I know myself as a recovering perfectionist getting into this work, this overachiever mindset, wants to have a checklist for life or any change to be able to check off as I go to guarantee success, to get that A+. But that's not how it works. We have to build trust in ourselves, in the universe, and understand that it's always happening for us. And you might be sitting here now going through the muck, not loving life, but I want you to take a look at your life. You're still here, and every single moment in your life led you to watching this YouTube video. And if this is triggering you, maybe in a good way or not so good way, it's happening for you to trust the process, to go, maybe I want to learn more about law of attraction. What does this person have to offer more of? Ooh, I listened to this podcast with this book. Maybe this book is calling me to read it. Every single thing, we consume so much content these days, but every single thing that sparks our interest or maybe triggers us is there for us to look at and to feel and to follow through. So if you feel like maybe life isn't happening for me right now, well, you are here listening to me say that, which means your inner being is saying, we might need to take a look at this. Where in your life can you listen more to what's coming up and tune back into step one and create your own reality? Because we need to feel it in order to heal it. And a misconception with law of attraction work is don't feel or focus on any of the lower emotions. Run the other way. But that is not the case. When we're able to feel everything that's coming up, that's life and our inner being guiding us to our higher selves. Because underneath all those gunky, shadowy, dark things is the wisdom that we learn that gives us the next step, that gives us the trust, that gives us the confidence, that the love for ourselves and life itself to keep going. Because it's not about the end result of manifesting your entire vortex. Because guess what? That's not gonna happen ever. And that's why it's so big, as we continually expand and grow and become the person that aligns with more of our vortex. And that is the purpose of all this work. Not about manifesting the dream car, the house, the bank account, the partner. It's about becoming more of you. Step number 3, contrast is a great thing. It means you're doing it right. So when we experience contrast or things that we don't necessarily want in our lives, like not enough money or a lack of money, Source hears our request. Our inner being hears our request and creates our desire for more money, for more abundance. And the reason why we have the lack and the abundance, the shadow and the light, the female and the male, is because we live in a universe of duality. We need both for creation, female and male, to be able to make life itself. And one is not better than the other. And a huge misconception is that we think when we're doing this work, when we're applying law of attraction, when we're tuning into our energy, and things are going well, and then something pops up and really triggers you, or you're in a dark, deep place for a long time that you think, why am I getting pushed back 20 steps when I should be moving forward? But because you are doing it right, because you are showing up and applying the work and the principles, this is why these emotions, or the contrast, is coming up. Because when we start to raise our vibration higher and higher to that vortex version of ourselves, all of the gunk, all of the lower, dense, vibrational emotions, situations, manifestations cannot live in us any longer. Energy always matches up. So we have to be able to allow this to come up like a burp, emotional burp, to be processed, to be felt. Because we're literally transmuting this denseness in order to step further into that vortex, high vibrational version of our higher self. And if you have deep dived into Abraham and law of attraction, this is step 5 in Abraham's process, to appreciate the contrast. Because when we can appreciate the contrast, we know that this is just part of the whole process. No matter how enlightened we are, no matter how much we've manifested in our lives, or how much we've changed or healed, this is all happening for us. Step number 4, what I focus on grows. You guys have heard the sayings like, when pigs fly, or I'll believe it when I see it. This is literally the opposite of that. I know that I will see it when I believe it, or when I become it or be it. So what you focus on grows. You understand, just like the past 3 rules here, that life is happening for you, and that this is a reflection of what you're focusing on every single day. So when these contrasting emotions come up, whether it's internally, the environment, situations, other people, you're able to appreciate that contrast, feel it, and understand that this is an indicator that you might have been focusing on the opposite side of that stick. You might be focusing on the lack side versus the abundant side of the stick. And we've always heard the saying, the grass is greener where you water it. And this is the same with creating your own life. We want to feel what's coming up for us, but we also want to tell a better story, which means start to rewire and train our subconscious mind to believe and feel and think in this more positive way, this more aligned with the vortex version of ourselves. So the power of telling a better story is literally using our imagination to sit down, close our eyes, and take a few minutes to really feel and visualize how you want your life to be, how you want to lead your life. Who do you want to interact with? What manifestations do you want to come into your life? And when we can start to tell a better story, as if this already happened, we can hindsight it. So hindsight's always 20/20. We can hindsight it and bring it to today. So if I already manifested my dream partner or my dream business, how would I act today? What literal, practical 3D things would I do throughout the day? How would I show up into the world? How would I feel? What would alignment be like for me? Because if you truly believe all of this, everything that you've ever wanted already exists. And when we can enter into this quantum space within ourselves, realize that every possibility exists. There's no time and space. Every single possibility exists. So if we can just train ourselves to tune in to what we do want that will happen to us, and use that energy and apply it today, that will transform your life for the better. And it does not have to be complicated just by choosing to do things differently. Like if you take your dog on a walk the same way around the block every single day, why don't you walk the other way around the block? It's really as simple as that, because once we can start to step out of those subconscious programs, like when we drive home from work and we realize we're already home and we didn't even think about it, that is so ingrained and programmed into our subconscious mind, we're literally on autopilot. So by tuning into the potential of that vortex version and consciously creating the life that you want is literally allowing yourself to do things differently and not run on autopilot, because 90% of our mind is our subconscious mind. And we want to become more aware and aware and aware, and focus on what we want to grow and focus less on what we don't want to grow. And that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed the 4 ways to tell if you are aligned with the vortex version of you. Drop a comment below. Was this helpful? What have you already transformed and applied into your life? And make sure to hit the subscribe button. I release a new video of me just like this one every single Monday, and a podcast video of my podcast, Witchy Wellness Radio, every Wednesday, both at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys next week.